Hi, I'm Larry Jones. I'm the author of Point C. I'm a former judge of the New Jersey Superior Court, the family part. Before I was a judge, I was an attorney for many years, and following my retirement from the judiciary in 2017, I became involved in a substantial amount of mediation, trying to help people resolve their family court disputes, and I also teach at a few universities. And the question comes up very, very often, why I wrote Point C in the first place. This goes back several years ago. It was during a lunch break, quite frankly, during a very, very contentious family court matter. And I was in the courthouse cafeteria. This was a cafeteria which was across the street from a high school. A lot of the kids came by just to basically hang out in the courthouse cafeteria. Perhaps they didn't like to be in the high school cafeteria. And they would bring in pizza boxes. I didn't have any paper with me, but I was thinking about the contentious case that I was watching. And there was an abandoned pizza box on one of the tables where the kids were at, and it was a white box, and so I had a pen, and I took the lid of the box and started writing the outline for Point C. And then I ripped off the top of the box and literally took it home with me. My wife thought I was crazy when I walked in the door with half a pizza box. But from that beginning, I started working on Point C, and ultimately it was created, and the point of Point C was to try to create something that was very succinct and short and to the point and had a moral and a message that could really, hopefully, talk to and talk some sense to people who were involved in the family court system, meaning parties who were getting divorced, parents of a child, the attorneys, the judges, psychological experts, really everyone involved. To underscore that the system itself was perhaps in some cases contrary to a child's best interest, emotional interest. Everyone was off on their own tangent, doing what they felt they had to do, they needed to do, but yet the child was kind of getting lost in the sauce, so to speak. And I thought it would be helpful. When I was a child myself, I used to read Aesop's Fables a lot, and it really made an impact on me. For those who are not familiar with that, Aesop's Fables are the short stories, very short stories, that go back from ancient Greece, stories like The Hare and the Tortoise, stories like that have a moral at the end, a message, a teaching point at the end. And while I've gone to many, many seminars, and in fact, I've taught many seminars concerning family court matters, sometimes a very short story with a message can be just as impactful, if not more impactful, than a long seminar or a 1,000-page book that you might read in law school. And so there was an impact of Aesop from 3,000 years ago on me. And ultimately, I presented at what's called Judicial College in New Jersey, and in many states, every year judges go to an annual training. And I was going to be one of the speakers at the training, and I created a video Point C, and I showed it to all of the fellow judges, family court judges in the state of New Jersey. And the impact and the response was extremely positive, far beyond what I had expected. And judges started suggesting, should it be shown in court? And it's not that easy to show a video in court. There are all kinds of administrative concerns and things like that, which surfaced in this particular case. But ultimately, there was an interest in Point C. And so it became obvious to me that this was something which might have a value to people who are involved in very, very contentious, overly litigious cases in the name of the best interest of a child. And so that's the origin of Point C. And I am hopeful that this will be important food for thought for litigants who are stuck in what seems to be, in many cases, a never-ending cycle of ongoing contentiousness and fighting over a child's best interest, when sometimes taking a step back and looking for a calmer approach may actually be more important to the best interest of a child. So we have a few additional tapes for you in addition to the Point C video itself, talking about various aspects of how to settle cases and things to consider, mediation, co-parenting, counseling, etc., mindfulness, listening, things of that nature. And my wife Joni and I are sharing this with you, and hopefully you'll find it to be valuable or relevant in your own personal or professional journeys through the family court system. And maybe with the assistance of Point C, as well as other assistive tools, you and your ex, if you are a litigant, may be able to reach a mutual agreement to get you to a peaceful and mutually acceptable point C in your own lives. Thank you.